guys, welcome back to my channel. Dude, why do I sound like a man right now? I feel like every time I do my intro I just sound like a man. Just to let you know, I just woke up from a nap, so if my voice is like 5 octaves lower than usual, that is why. If you don't know me, my name is Eamon. If you do know me, welcome back to my channel. So I've been MIA once again, but honestly, I feel like it's excusable because it's Ramadan and there's a lot of fasting going on. My sleep schedule is all over the place because Sari is like at 5 a.m. Even though honestly, I haven't really been fasting the past 2 weeks, so can't really even use that as an excuse, you know what I mean? I've just been lazy. But I'm back with a bang because I'm gonna be continuing the Millennial Helpline today. So many of you loved the first one, even though it didn't get that many views, but I got so many messages, like kind messages about it, so I thank you for that. But yeah, I posted on my Instagram story a few days ago asking you guys again what you need help with, what you're struggling with, you know what I mean? Everyone, there's so many people that replied, they're like, all of the above, everything. My life is in shambles. And I was like, join the club, honey. All of ours is. Now, I have screenshotted the questions on my phone. However, some people want to stay anonymous, some people don't want to stay anonymous. So for the benefit of time and such, I'm just gonna keep everyone anonymous. But yeah, let's just get the fuck into it. Just to let you know, if your life goes to shit due to the advice I have given you, I take no blame of that myself. This is advice I'm giving you as not a certified anything. I'm not a certified therapist. However, I have gone to enough therapy to know a thing or two. That's what I'm gonna say. But yeah, that was just the fine, you know, like the fine print, you know, in case I ruin your life, I'm sorry about that. But I'm gonna try not to, you know what I mean? I have good intentions. I always have good intentions. Anyway, let's get into it, you guys. Okay, this person said to me, I struggle a lot with self-confidence. I'm working on it every day, but it's difficult. Any advice? Honestly, confidence is fake. I'm not gonna lie, obviously there's so many people who genuinely are so confident about themselves, about everything they are and embody, but a lot of people are not confident and they present as confident because they're just faking it. I feel like with confidence, you literally just have to fake it till I'm eating a hair. Oh, sorry, see, not confident of me. As I was saying, I feel like confidence can be faked. And you know, on a day, suppose you're not really feeling confident, just fake it. Honestly, walk into that room, talk to that girl like you're the hottest guy there, walk into that room like you're the guy who owns the fucking building, and people will follow. Whether they know it's the truth, whether they know you're faking it, it still is confidence. I feel like the first step to being confident as well, like genuinely like from the inside feeling confident, is honestly accepting all of your flaws for what they are. For example, like me growing up, I was chubby growing up, I didn't have amazing skin growing up, and these things, like the more you start thinking about them and the more you realize, dude, like no one's fucking perfect. Like nobody has perfect skin. Everyone's skin is photoshopped to shit out here. People are chubby, people can lose weight. You know what I mean? I feel like the more you start acknowledging your flaws as not even flaws, just part of you as a human, and these are things you can change if you want to, the more you accept yourself, the more confident you're gonna be, because then these are things that other people cannot use to tear you down, right? Like if I was still insecure about my weight and somebody, you know, I get fat shamed all the time, that would crush me every single day. But I'm fucking fine with my weight. I don't give a fuck. I know I look great. I may not be skinny enough for some people. I may not be curvy enough for others, but I'm fine for me. So I'm confident in my body, even though I get hate comments on the daily. So I feel like with confidence, start from inside. I know that's so cliche and stupid, but it's true. Like the easiest journey to confidence is self-love. I feel like that's a really good quote. I think I made it up. I would like to copyright that, write that down somewhere. My lawyers, I ain't got lawyers. But yeah, like that would be my advice to you. Really try and focus on yourself and just love yourself, honestly. I know it's a lot easier said than done, but it's possible. You know, everyone can do it. There's so many people where I would be like, you know what, you would not strike me as a confident person, and they're just oozing confidence, and I'm like, okay, the audacity though. No, I'm kidding. I do not confidence shame. The next question is, how do I ask about my hiring process without sounding like I'm rushing HR? Very, very good question. Firstly, let me just preface this with the fact I've never really applied to a corporate job per se, so like the hiring processes for me are very different, but I have sisters who are in the corporate world, so I completely understand what you're going through. My top tip, sorry, I thought I had an alarm. My top tip for when you're being considered for a role and you haven't heard back is always, always, always follow up. There's no looking eager in the workplace. If anything, bosses and companies like the fact that someone is eager to hear back. They're eager to hear from you. They're eager to find out if they got the job or not. They're eager to start working with you. So I feel like the day you have an interview, maybe the first round, second round, or even third round, always send a follow-up email. Just the pleasantries like, oh, thank you for taking the time to meet with me today. You know, I'm so excited, you know, to potentially be joining this company and bringing my expertise, yada, 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 into my role with me, and that. So always start with the pleasantries, always, always follow up. And if it's been a few days, if they said they were gonna get back to you on Monday and they haven't gotten back to you, it is fully within your right to email them and ask them what's going on. Not literally be like, hey, what's going on? Just be like, hey, was expecting to hear back on Monday, still haven't heard anything. I just wanted to know where you guys were in the hiring process, etc., etc. Best regards, your mom. Okay, don't do that. But yeah, always, always follow up. There's no such thing as too eager in the workplace. If anything, let me tell you a little story. So my sister Maheen, she is the queen of follow-up emails. Anytime she has a job interview, she is on that shit like nobody's business. The amount of times I've like spell checked and made sure all the grammar is correct on her follow-up emails is ridiculous. Like I can't even count the times because it's so damn many. But the one time she didn't send a follow-up email, she ended up not getting the job. And then when she asked, she was like, is there anything I could have done differently? You know, what was I lacking? They were like, you didn't really seem that eager for the role. You know, you never followed up with us. And she just like could not stop kicking herself in the head because it's like, you always follow up. The one time you didn't, they're like, you didn't follow up, you're not eager. So I would be like, there's no shame in following up. 100% follow up and send them an email. You gotta get that bank, boy. You gotta get that job. Okay, this person says, I'm 22 and a dropout, almost 4 years in corporate and digital marketing, earning good money. Should I resume my studies as it will take my next 4 years? I wish you'd given me more context on how old you were firstly so I could kind of calculate, you know, your life plan and like what I see. I have been raised to really value education. My parents are really big on education, and come rain, come shine, come whatever the fuck, they were gonna send me to uni and I was gonna go to university. I know for a fact university is not the path for everyone. College isn't the path for everyone. I completely understand that. But people also look at these billionaires like, I don't know how many of these billionaires, what's his name? Was it Richard Branson who dropped out of uni? Was it Richard Branson? A lot of these people, I'm sure Elon Musk did as well. Like there's so many of these billionaires and millionaires who have dropped out of school. Take it with a grain of salt that these schools were also like Harvard, Cambridge, Oxford. It wasn't just some, you know, community college night classes. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I'm just saying, like they drop out and then they end up being billionaires, and people think, oh, I can do that. Let me just drop out and make my dreams come true. Like these are very rare cases, and I feel like the job market is just getting more and more competitive as the years go on. So many more people are able to get that secondary education that they need, maybe university, a bachelor's degree, even post-grad to the point like masters, your MBA, all this stuff. And these things are huge on, you know, the big five, KPMG, EY, Procter & Gamble. Procter & Gamble? Yeah. Dude, I'm saying so much corporate lingo. I'm not in the corporate world at all. Like all these companies really do value your education, you having a master's, you having an MBA and whatnot. However, honestly, if you've been making good money doing what you're doing and you don't want to go back to school, you don't really have to. Because at the end of the day, you never go into a job and they're never going to be like, so what was your GPA? What was your GPA in every year of your, you know, no one ever asks that. Like, I don't remember the last time I even talked about my degree or got a job due to my degree. I feel like school is also overrated in that regard. I feel like when my parents were growing up, it was very much the most important thing you can do. But I feel like now maybe content creation, maybe freelancing, all these things, people have a huge way of making money in the non-traditional way that we've been used to making money and deeming people successful. So I feel like if it's completely up to you. If you don't want to resume your studies, don't. but also I feel like the path of growth in your corporate job is also limited when you don't have that education, because I feel like, say you and somebody else are going for the same role, may it be partner in a company, may it be the manager of whatever job you're doing now, you're going to be working for the company, you're going to have the qualifications, but this person would have come from a different company and they have an MBA. I feel like your company is more likely to go for that person rather than you, because they are more qualified and more educated. So really think about what you want to do. If freelancing is the way forward and that's what you want to do and you want to be your own boss, you don't have to go back to 4 years of school. Online classes, online courses, like make it as flexible as you want. Like there's so much knowledge to be gained on the internet. You don't have to traditionally go to school to gain that knowledge. That's my advice to you, buddy. Okay, so this person asked, well, they didn't really ask, they just told me. They were like struggling a lot to keep up with others' expectations, please help. And based off their name, which I'm not gonna mention, they are Desi, so I'm gonna approach this with a Desi mindset. If you don't know what Desi is, it just means you're South Asian. With growing up Desi, I feel like you have the expectations of your entire family on your shoulders, and not just your parents. I'm talking about your grandmothers, your grand aunts, your grand uncles, your aunts and uncles, people you don't even know, or like, what are you doing, son? Are you okay? Kya kar rahe ho? Like that's literally what they're doing, and I feel like it's very, very crushing to be in situations like that. But also, people will always have their expectations of you, but it's up to you to figure out what your expectations of yourself are. We're only human at the end of the day, and we obviously always want to do the best we possibly can. Why am I sitting like this? I feel like, you know those people in America's Next Top Model who are like, symmetry pose, asymmetry. Sorry, I got distracted. Expectations. You need to figure out what your expectations for yourself are firstly, and whether they align with the people around you, because keep in mind the people around you only have such high expectations of you because they want you to be the best person you can be. Like I'm constantly like arguing with my parents because they're always trying to push me, and sometimes I feel like I've done enough, and then I get reminded, actually no, I can push myself a bit more and I shouldn't settle for less. So I feel like having a high expectations of you always comes from a place of, you know, love and good intentions, but it is crippling. It is really hard to the point, you know, you don't want to beat yourself up over the fact that you're not meeting these people's expectations. But I feel like that's a conversation you can also have. You know, if you think those expectations are like too high, you can also be like, hey, you know, like I'm feeling a lot of pressure right now. I know what you guys want me to do. I know what you guys think I'm capable of. Believe me, I will get there, but I need to get there at my own pace, and I can't have this pressure on me every day of you guys being like, hee. You know what I mean? Dude, at the end of the day, it's your life. You're living up to you. Like your only competition is you. You're in a race with yourself. It's you versus you for the rest of your life. So keep that in mind, and don't let it get to you so much. Like I kid you not, I get a lecture from my parents every single day, maybe multiple times a day. And sometimes I'm just like, you know, I'm just gonna listen to it through one ear and let it go out the other, because I feel like, especially with Desi parents, they just love drilling in the fact to the point that it's literally inscribed into your brain and there's no way of it coming out. But they're like, hey, did I ever tell you that one thing? Like, that's what they're gonna do, and you're like, yes, let me hear it for the 50th time. But yeah, like, I feel like also when people are talking about these things, just tell them what they want to hear. Be like, yes, I'm working on it for 100%, for sure. Because at least that's an answer they want. Then they'll get off your back. Whether you're going to achieve that or not, doesn't fucking matter. At least you've pacified them in the moment. Just a quick break from regular programming. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Now, if you don't know who Skillshare are, they are basically a learning platform online that have thousands and thousands of classes, all ad-free, by the way, so thank God, no time wasted at all. They have topics like art, freelance, photography, fine art, whatever you want, they will have it. And all the classes are thankfully 45 minutes to an hour long, so they really do fit into your schedule. A class that I just recently took is called Instagram Worthy Photography, Shoot, Edit and Share with Brandon Wolfell. And if anyone on Instagram is watching this, then you guys will have heard of Brandon already, because he is so huge on the YouTube and Instagram space, and I really wanted to learn from him. I followed him a really long time ago. I loved all the shots he created and the videos that he's made, so I was like, how does he do it? What is the magic behind it? He gave a lot of tips and tricks in the video, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this in my next video, in my next picture. And I mean, if you guys see a difference, then do let me know, and all credit does go to Brandon Wolfell. But I did not forget about you guys though, because the first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in my description box will get a 1-month free trial with Skillshare Premium, so you can just, you know, do all the classes you want, get the biggest bang for your buck because it's free, and do all the classes that you want to do. But yes, back to it. Okay, so the next one is, how can I be more patient and not needy with my girlfriend who is 1,300 miles away from me? Oh my god! The long distance rant is about to begin. Ladies and gentlemen, put your seatbelts on, grab your popcorn, let's do this. Long distance is really hard. Long distance is really hard. I was in a long distance relationship on and off for about 5 years. We were in the same country, but it would take me 2 hours to fly to him. I couldn't really get there by road per se, so it was long distance. And it's so hard, especially, I don't know the context and the background of your relationship. I don't know if you guys started in the same city and then she moved. I don't know if you guys have always been long distance, so I can't really speak on that. But I mean, it is very hard, especially when you're in a relationship with someone and you can't see them every day. That's really tough, and I completely understand where you're coming from, where you don't want to come off as needy and you don't want to always be like, hey, reply, especially if there's a time difference in the mix as well. That just fucks things up even more. Like, oh my god, I can't even tell you, like, me and Julian had a 10-hour time difference, so that was unbearable. The point is everyone has different expectations of their partner and what you're willing to give and what you're willing to receive. If you think you're coming off needy, it's not necessarily true that your girlfriend thinks you're coming off as needy. And especially with distance, there is such a higher level of reassurance involved. There is a higher level of always being on your phone, always trying to respond, because how else are you going to speak to the person that you're with? Having said that, I feel like maybe this is new, because I feel like when you've been doing long distance for a while, you definitely get used to the feeling of missing that person, and you're not always on their case to kind of be like, hey, what are you doing? Like, call me, let's talk, da-da-da. I feel like once you get used to being away from that person, just kind of becomes a background feeling, if you will. But just talk to her about it. Be like, hey, like, I'm feeling kind of needy. And the reason you're feeling needy or clingy is probably because you're either missing her too much, or you're just not getting enough of her, or maybe she's just not giving you, as much time as you'd want. But you can communicate that to her. Be like, hey, I know you're pretty busy. I know life is happening, but I'm your partner, and like, I want a certain amount of time from you every day just to spend time with you. With my ex, like, we would WhatsApp all the time. This is something I don't recommend, but like, we would have set times, like if you guys are both in school, we would both be studying at the same time on Skype or whatever it was at the time. Like, you can also spend time together even when you're doing things that you would be doing alone, like studying together. If you're reading a book, like, get on call. Like, if you're doing work, like, work on the laptop together while you're on Skype, while you're on Discord. Like, together alone time is also a thing, and it does also strengthen the bond, even though you're not talking, you're not really saying anything. That's one thing I've realized really helps. But also just talk to her. Maybe she doesn't realize what you're expecting of her. Maybe she doesn't realize how incorporated in your day you want her to be, right? So I feel like this is very much an open conversation where just talk to her about it. And never feel needy in love. Like, I understand, like, never be in a one-sided relationship. I definitely not calling this a one-sided relationship, but dude, you love who you love, and like, I feel like there should never be a limit to how much you can love someone. But that I am a hopeless romantic. But you guys will get through it. Long distance fucking sucks, believe me. I'm there with you. I feel you. I hope you guys, work it out, and I hope you guys end up getting married. That did not happen with me. Distance is tough, but you guys will make it work. No, and another thing is, I feel like neediness also comes into play when they are more busy than you, because you have all that free time to then be thinking about them, missing them more, and just thinking about what they're doing, thinking about why they haven't responded. And if they're busier than you, then obviously they're getting, into their day-to-day life, their hustle, bustle, work, school, whatever, and they probably don't have as much time to miss you. Keep busy. If you think you're coming off as needy, get busier. I assure you, the minute you start getting busy, like, you will be hitting her up less. Okay, so the next one is, so I need advice. My friend for 8.5 years has started kicking me and hurting me, which leaves marks on me, but acts like she doesn't care or feels sorry when I confront her about it. She won't listen to me. I love her, but I can't take it anymore. Should I stay or should I leave? Or should I try something else? If you can help, thanks so much. Okay, firstly, what the fuck? Firstly, drop that friend like a fly.
Drop her, cut her off.
No, but I'm very confused. What do you mean? I don't understand. She's kicking you and hurting you. I'm guessing since it's not malicious, it just must be like she's playing too hard, like you guys are play fighting too hard. But also if you've confronted her about it and she sort of jokes about it or just like doesn't really say sorry, that's also a problem. People think domestic abuse and all that stuff only happens in relationships. It can also happen in friendships as well when people may not realize what's going on. But firstly, you don't deserve that, whether it's a joke or not. If it is genuinely hurting you and it is not something you are comfortable with, you have to voice that to her. And if you have voiced that to her many times and she's not getting the hint, I think you should definitely sit her down and be like, listen, you are one of my closest friends. I love you to bits, but I cannot handle this anymore. You kicking me, whatever, bruising me, you know, it really hurts, and I don't want that to be a part of our friendship. And give her an ultimatum. I know ultimatums suck, but the fact I'm only telling you to do this because you have told her so many times and she's not listening to you. So now she needs to realize how high the stakes really are and how high the consequences of her actions are. So honestly, just be like, hey, you know, I don't think I can continue this friendship if you keep doing this. You know, I love spending time with you, but I don't want to come back battered and bruised every time I hang out with you. Like, this is getting me triggered and this is getting me pissed because I don't even know you, but you deserve better. And considering you took the time to message me, like, I will fight this bitch for you.
I will fight for you.
And for the last question of today's session, this is a bit of a long one, so bear with me. This person said, I just feel very lonely, disconnected from the world and people at times. I have a few friends, a great girlfriend, but I feel like I'm not what people want me to be. I had a lot of friends and lost them, and I feel like people hold me to different standards because of how nice I was to them. So when I get angry and say something, they take it worse than anyone else, but no one's perfect. Please keep me anonymous. This is a really tough spot to be in, especially when, you know, your friends and your close circle around you have always seen you in a way and you suddenly start acting different. But also, you're human. People can't always be nice. People can't always be chirpy. People can't always be funny, the life of the party, whatever. Like, people get pissed. We have emotions. We have negative emotions and they come out. And I feel like, obviously, if your friends or your girlfriend have not seen this side of you yet, then they are going to be very confused and they are going to be taken aback. But it's not a big deal. Like, I feel like if you can't show all the true sides of yourself with your girlfriend, with your friends, then are they really your true friends? Like, if they are backing away from like the first sign of you being angry, is that a true friend? Is that a real friend that's gonna stay with you? I don't really know. Having said that, I feel like this question kind of really reminded me of the saying when you're in trouble when you're in a room full of people and you feel really lonely. I don't know if you relate to that. I'm guessing from what you're saying, it is something that you may relate to, considering you're feeling disconnected from the people around you. And I feel like that also stems from being a people pleaser. Now obviously, sorry, I got a notification, it was my bloody Fitbit, which I don't even wear anymore. I feel like with people pleasing, we are always trying to please the people around us. We're always trying to make sure everybody else has a good time. We're always putting on our game face, rain or shine, whether we feel like shit, whether we feel like whatever, we are putting our game faces on and making sure people have a good time and people are enjoying being around us, and that's that. When that starts to crumble, that's when your real you really starts coming out, and that's when people are like, hey, whoa, what was that? I've never heard you use the word fuck. I think the main way to stay connected to the situation, to the people around you, is to try and be very present in the moment. I feel like when people are people pleasing, we're very much on. It's like a performance almost, where, you know, like you're always like putting all your energy into like you being the life of the party, you doing this, and that you then sort of become a service to the people around you. You're an entertainment service to the people around you, and that really takes away from the presentness of that moment. And I feel like you can also take a step back and be on the listening end of things. You don't have to be the class clown. You don't have to be the people pleaser. You can also just be you at a gathering, and that is enough. You just being there, your friends inviting you because they want you there, that is enough. They should not expect you to do X, Y, Z. because you're invited or because you're the life of the party. Like, that's not how it works. And I feel like once you know, take a step back and maybe people please less and sort of look inwards and just listen to what's going on around you, I feel like that will also make you connect with the situation a lot more. Active listening is a huge thing. If you're an actor, you know what active listening is. But when you're actually genuinely engaging and listening to what the person is saying. And I feel like it's very easy to fake that. Like, I can be like listening to someone, like listening and be like, yeah, for sure, yeah. Really? What? But I'm not fucking listening to a word they're saying. And I feel like that definitely takes you away from the moment. So make sure you're actually listening to everything that's going on. You know what I mean? Like, I know it's a really small tip. I know it's a small tidbit of advice, but it really does help. And I feel like I also felt that for a long time, that I wasn't connecting with the reality around me or the people around me. And I found that because I was so in my own thoughts, I was so thinking about the fact that I was disconnected, that it made me even more disconnected. I wasn't even trying to connect. I was just thinking about the bad and how disconnected I was. So I feel like you really need to start thinking about the present of the moment. I feel like that's not English, but I'm gonna go with it. The presence, the presentness, the now. Think about the now, stay in the now. Don't try and perform, don't be on, just be you. You know, when the bullshit comes out, it comes out. When your claws come out, they come out. But at the end of the day, you're a good person, you're a nice person, and if your friends are truly your friends, if your girlfriend really loves you, she will know that. And that is it for today's video, guys. This one was kind of deep. That was deep. I got so many more questions than I did last time, so I feel like people are realizing that I'm not full of shit, that I actually am a helpful person. Dude, I'm always like, not only the class clown in the friend group, I'm also the therapist. So like, I've done this role so many times, and I feel like, you know, like, why not help my followers? I hope this helped. If I answered your question, if I gave you advice today, I hope this helped. If I did, and maybe I got the context of your situation wrong, you can definitely message me again and just be like, hey, I was in your video, and then give me the context, tell me whatever you wanted to tell me, and I'll reply to you myself on Instagram, because I feel like, you know, this is such a tease. This is like, you know, the tip of the iceberg. We haven't even gotten to the
Real issues of childhood trauma.
you know? So I feel like definitely message me if I haven't gotten your situation correct, because I do want to give you guys proper advice, you know? And that is the end of today's episode of the Millennial Helpline. Also, hello, you don't have to be a millennial to ask me a question. Relax, ask me a question. I just, you know, named it that because it was catchy. Also, before I go, I would just like to say, please tell me how many of you think this is a nice top. Please comment below, and then let me tell you, this is actually my bra. Don't have a strapless bra, so I kind of made this like thing happen, and I'm not even mad at it. Like, I showed Julian and he was like, that's a nice top, and I was like, it ain't even a top. But yeah, anyway guys, see you in the next one. I hope you're staying well, I hope you're staying healthy. Bye. Eid Mubarak, guys. I just wanted to say that the first 1,000 people to click on the link or use my code Ayman Hassan will get 1 month free of Skillshare. So use it now. What are you doing?